Nation, y'all know who it is. It's your main man, Ken Clark, KC 1400 Media, and Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. We're here in Mobile, Alabama. Just finished up the 2023 Reese Senior Bowl. Got the pleasure of sitting next to the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year, JSU Tiger, Mr. Aubrey Miller. What's up, baby?
How you doing?
Doing good, bro. Appreciate you for sitting down with us, man. Let's talk about the game. Let's jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
How you think you did today?
I did decent. I mean, win. You know, I'm more of a winning guy.
Right.
So when we don't win, I don't feel like I did what I had to do sometimes. But I did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think many would say that you did a little bit better. I mean, let's get into the full week, though. You know, we'll talk a little bit about the game, and then we'll get into kind of how you felt like you did this week. You know, it's your first postseason bowl game, and kind of want to get your thoughts on what do you think? What did it feel like getting that Senior Bowl invite? Because last time we were in Mobile, we were playing Alabama A&M. Hall of Famer Dr. Doom, Robert Brazile comes in and presents you. You know, mention your name that you're going to be here back over here for the Senior Bowl. What that feel like?
Kind of more of a unrealistic feeling. I mean, this is something I've been dreaming of. Talking to my pops all the time about this opportunity, and him just telling me to be patient, just to wait on it. You know, it's kind of something that you hear and you just like, all right, man, just, you know. But actually just staying down, trying to make sure I do what I had to do to keep winning. You know, I just say that these are one of the things that came with it, winning. You know, coming back from their last season, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, all I want to do is just come back and win the championship. But like I said, this is another accolade. I count it as an accolade that came with winning. You know, but for me to be able to be here with all these great guys, man, you know, it was a great opportunity for me to display what I can do and show that I belong. You know, especially with a lot of guys who were here from schools like Bama, you know, Georgia, a lot of guys who were Tulane, just won, you know, the championship as well. So these are great teams that I'm playing against, a great competition. I mean, and then too, having Uncle Robert Brazile be able to give it to me as well, man, that's kind of like a blessing, you know, for him to be surrounding around me and I guess to trust me and to also push me as if I was his own blood. So that's kind of a big thing as well if you're talking about Jackson State as a whole too. Right. I don't know, man, but now that I've been able to experience it, you know, I don't really see a difference in competition at all. Only thing is probably the organization, if you ask me, and probably depth-wise, but as far as physicality, I don't see a difference. Speed, I don't really see a difference. I feel like anybody can be able to do this, honestly. As long as you got that dog in you, as long as you're disciplined, you know, anybody can be able to play in this.
So, like today, I mean, when we were out there, we got a chance to kind of be, you know, in the background, just kind of observing, right? And it looked like, it was clear that number 45 was the leader of the defense. I mean, it didn't look no different from us being, you know, Jackson State Tigers and watching you play, you know, starting in the spring season and then having 2 great seasons after that. What actually happened for you to get that type of respect, you know, in practice? I mean, we're going to expand on it, but the thing I thought that just stuck out to me was, I was like, man, Aubrey's leading this defense, man. And I can look back at your pops and I know he was super proud. I mean, we were proud, but I want to hear from you in your own words.
You mean this week, right?
This week, yeah.
I mean, going through the practices, I really wasn't the starter. You know, I'll just say that. I mean, of course, they was like, don't worry about the depth chart, but I was with the twos. You had a lot of guys who were here from other schools that I guess had an injury. So, you know, a couple guys dropped out, a couple of guys just left the room. But I just seen that as an opportunity to be able to display what I could do again. I mean, leading up through practices, I've been having great practices. You know, making some noise, making some plays, and doing those type of things, just taking advantage of the opportunity. And then, like I said, these guys leaving, I mean, of course, wish them the best, that they're able to hear and be able to perform. But they just opened up a more wider opportunity for me to be able to come out here and display on national TV. And, I mean, that was great, man. A lot of these guys trusted me. A lot of these guys listen. They like my juice that I brought. They like my physicality as well. And like I said, I think that's just a good thing on my resume to show that I'm a team player, to show that I'm a leader, you know, to show that I'm able to control a team as far as having guys behind my back to be able to try and get a win.
feel like you did enough this week to bolster your draft stock?
I don't know, man, because when you talk about that, it's up to them whether they want to boost it or not. I feel like all I did was just come out and play my ball, play my type of ball, my type of tempo, and just, have fun. I really did have fun this week, and I think that's really one of the most important things, that I can leave with a smile and say I actually had fun. I left it all out there and did what all I could do.
Right. Do you have a draft grade? Like, did you have a draft grade prior to coming to this event, and then?
Some people will speak late round free agency.
Okay.
That's kind of the buzz I was hearing, but that's not gonna stop me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna continue working. And like I said, this opportunity, hopefully, it did give me some buzz. So now I'm looking more higher. But if not, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep doing what I got to do.
Yeah, it looked like you had about 7 tackles today. I mean, the stats weren't ready for us prior to this interview, but I mean, just kind of looking at it from a football standpoint, the respect that was garnered. I mean, how did it feel, represent Jackson State? You see the support that's out there.
I mean, it's HBCU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
PWIs, large amount of numbers for them, but for us, it was just 2 HBCU guys.
Yeah.
Me and Isaiah.
Yeah.
2 guys who I say ran the SWAC as well, ran HBCUs as well. But I mean, it was fun, man. I mean, it's an honor. Not a lot of guys come out of and can be able to say they came from HBCU and be able to do the things that we've done. So I mean, that meant a lot, man. Especially, I say, going against these guys, performing. And like I said, this opportunity kind of showed me, man, like anybody can be able to play against these guys. All this technique and sound mind, sound football. And, like I said, me and him, we performed and we had a lot of fun.
Did you have a relationship with Isaiah prior to coming to the Senior Bowl? I know you played against him a couple times.
Right. No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. Probably hit him up, told him I'm coming for the defensive MVP.
Yeah.
Probably something like that. But when we first got here, I mean, we connected instantly, knowing that the type of name that we had coming in, knowing the type of weight that we held, knowing the type of expectation that we had, and knowing the things that they didn't think we could do.
Right.
So we had to gel together, make sure that we could keep each other up in practice, make sure we're going hard every day. When guys was dropping, make sure that we weren't even thinking close about doing that, because we already know that we got to make a name. We still trying to make a name for ourselves.
Right.
And it's not given to us.
Right. So let's take it off the Senior Bowl for a second, because we don't want to ever sit down and not talk about the journey. When we first are introduced to Aubrey Miller Jr., he transferred in from the zoo, and by way of Memphis, Tennessee, Whitehaven High School. Talk to us about your journey from the time you first arrived on campus up until graduation, up until this day. Speak to just your evolution of how you've grown as a player, as a man, as a leader. We want to hear it in your own words.
Starting at Jackson State, man. Let me just think. I feel like I was there for all 4 years. But when I first got there, it kind of was like, I feel like I took a huge step back. Don't get me wrong. But when I say it like that, I'm kind of meaning, going from a zoo, it's kind of like you had a silver spoon.
Okay.
And when I went to Jackson State, it's kind of like I just fell into a plastic spoon. I'm just telling the perspective that I had.
Yeah.
But when I got there, man, it was kind of like I was lost. I was like, okay, I'm in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I looked at it as a country. But then I had to think about, what city was I from, the type of area I was from, the type of things that I was used to. And Columbia kind of showed me that, this life, like I said, is a silver spoon life, all these big houses that I had and all these nice areas. So when I got to Jackson State, I think that was really the reality of what life could be, saying, in the area that Jackson, Mississippi was, Jackson State was.
Right.
And that was kind of reality for me. So when I first got there, of course I had, really didn't know a lot of things, man. Meeting Coach Prime and stuff like that. Okay, I'm like, all right, we got these guys in, all these good guys transferring in. Spring season come, it's kind of hard to really talk about this situation because you really didn't know anything. I had an apartment, that's kind of how I started. spring season comes in, you know, we weren't just that good. You know, we won a few games, lost. You know, like I said, I hate losing. But after that, that's when people started reaching out. That's when I first met Rob Brazil in the spring season. Kevin Dent, you know, started meeting these guys. And like I said, I had my issues in the spring. A lot of ups and downs as far as with grades. You know, that's another thing as well. Trying to make sure that you're on top of your grades. And, you know, Jackson State really taught me a lot of things of having to be independent on a lot of things, but not saying in a bad way. Teach you how to be independent. Teach you how to do things on your own, how to be a real adult, and how to take care of things. Other than like my last school where things is getting handed to you, people doing things for you. Okay. So, you know, I feel like Jackson State kind of got me set up for real life. Like I said, trying to be independent, trying to make sure I do things on my own as far as taking care of my own body, doing my own work, you know, getting my own money when I need to, you know, things of that nature. But started going through there, you know, ups and downs, learning. I would say a learning moment for me. That was probably like a milestone for learning, and you know, learning how to be a pro. Then fall season comes, you know, right back over with school. Oh, I forgot to say, in spring season I had made Dean's List. So, you know, going from 6 Fs, as they would say on the documentary, to make Dean's List. Yeah. You know, the small things. But man, it's kind of like a blur, man, because I'm just so. I just remember this past year, like all the other stuff was just old to me. You know, that was just old Aubrey. I kind of threw that away. Yeah. But last fall was kind of cool, man. You know, we had our wins, we had our losses. You know, you learn a lot of things about having to be a leader, and that kind of exposed how you talk to people matters. How you accept coaching matters as well, and how you go about things as far as doing things by example. That goes a long way as well. And that kind of, you know, going through all the wins and the losses that we had. But the last loss, of course, the Celebration Bowl, that kind of left a stain, you know what I'm saying, in my head that I couldn't just leave on that note. Right. Despite I could have went to the NFL or not. Of course, I wanted to. I mean, you know, that's everybody's dream, but I felt like I had to come back and I had to finish strong. Unfortunately, we didn't do that, but that kind of what drove me to come back, go undefeated season. And like I said, I mean, walking by faith and not by sight, all these accolades started falling out the sky once I decided to do that. Got the opportunity to be here and, yeah, built a huge resume.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've accomplished everything that you set out to accomplish at Jackson State?
I mean, I ain't winning the Bucks, I mean, whatever you say there, Ward. Like I said, I just hate losing. Yeah. And we didn't win the Celebration Bowl, and I'm not satisfied with that. So,
respect. What would your message be to the city of Jackson? I mean, you got a lot of love and support from Jackson, Mississippi, a special place. I mean, we had a chance to sit down and talk to Isaiah. He made us chuckle a little bit. He was like, man, when I got to Jackson, he didn't really want to come back, but then Jackson tend to have this effect on everybody like it do when you come there, and then it's like, man, this is home. And then you come out here and you see the support, you know, from a media standpoint. You see the alumni chapter sit down with you and present you with a plaque. And, like, what does all that mean to you?
I mean, a message Jackson State would simply be, I mean, the city as a whole know I love them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From when you talk about the parts that you couldn't go to in the city to the parts they told you that you could go to in the city. I mess with everybody there, from the mothers to the fathers to the kids to the aunties to the uncles. You know what I'm saying? To the homeboys, to the homegirls. It was always love. No matter where I was, everybody showed great hospitality. And everything was great, man. My experience there was great. I actually told people, if it wasn't for Jackson, the city, I probably would have been left. I mean, we're going to be honest. The city is what held me. And of course, my teammates. But I mean, the city as a whole, like I said, the hospitality, the atmosphere, the environment, how people accepted me for me being me. You know, they reminded me being home. I felt like I was right in Memphis. You know, I felt like I was right back in Memphis, right at home. Yeah. Even though home was 2 hours down, 55, I still felt like I was at home. Yeah. And I mean, they know that though, man. They made sure they took care of me, and I didn't even ask for it. You know, I was always that humble guy. They were like, you know, you ain't got to say yes, sir, no, sir. From the fire department to the police department, everybody showed love. Yeah, and like I said, I really don't even want to leave Jackson. We're gonna be honest. I actually can live there if I wanted to.
There you go.
just because I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And the respect that I had being at Jackson, that goes a long way.
I feel like when you sit down with NFL teams, one of the probably the most prevalent questions that will be asked is, how was it like playing for Coach Prime? I mean, given the fact that his entire tenure that he was there, you got a chance to play under him.
I mean, it was a great experience. You know, not everybody gets to experience that, from a Hall of Famer to the best cornerback that you ever see play. Yeah. He had high expectations, and he pushed us. As far as like you hear his stuff, smart, tough, fast, and disciplined. Yeah. Those are things that he preached, and let's not forget character. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably would not have great character. I'm not gonna say it like that, but I probably wouldn't be able to display good character and say what I actually mean when I say it. He was a guy that corrected me in a lot of ways, and you know, like I said, he taught me a lot of things, and I'm able to display that though. So like I said, this Aubrey wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his help as well.
All right, so you get ready, you graduate, you get to the Senior Bowl, we get to signing day. Then comes another Miller. We think Aubrey Miller's leaving, and now your brother Ahmad Miller commits to Jackson State, man. What that feel like, man? I'm pretty sure he talked to you, and you know, Pop's a big fan of the culture and the university. But in your own words, what does it mean to see Ahmad follow?
I mean, he was nervous, but I just say I'm really grateful, you know, because it's not like he's going somewhere I'm not familiar with. I mean, he's going somewhere that I know they're gonna take care of him. You know, I know if they see him in the streets, if they see him in the mall, simple things like if they see him in a restaurant or something, they're gonna make sure he's okay. You know, no matter where I was, even if I was at a red light, people were still checking on me. You know, like I said, there's something that a lot of people can't experience. You know what I'm saying? Some people be scared about that. I wasn't scared. Because at the end of the day, I knew it was all good intentions. I never seen anybody hate. I never seen anybody be disrespectful to me. It was always respectful. It was always happy to see me. It was always, you a hero. You know, and I'm not even from Jackson, Mississippi, but you accepted me like I was. So for my little brother to go there, man, I mean, I know he's going to perform. I know he's going to work hard. The only thing I ask is don't spoil him. Don't spoil the man, because I still want to be hungry for everything he's going to do, and I know he's going to work. But like I said, man, it's a blessing for him to be able to go there and still represent, especially for me to graduate from this school and be able to represent it as I go through professional. You know, it's nothing but blessing, man. And like I said, I just know the love is going to be there for him. I know everything is going to be there for him.
Yeah. So, you know, out goes Coach Prime. You know, he goes on to his next opportunity, and the elevation of Coach T.C. Taylor. I know you was on the defensive side of the ball, but kind of in your own words, tell us a little bit about, you know, what your thoughts are in relation to T.C. taking over Jackson State.
He was always determined as a head coach. I mean, he really went about things like he was a head coach, but he treated the receivers as his head coaching job. I mean, he did a great job with those guys, keeping them in check. I mean, making sure that we was doing all we had to do. He always stayed positive. You never seen him negative. So I think that's a big thing coming into this season, as far as him being in the head coaching job. I mean, his attitude is always to dominate and win. No matter when he talks to me, when he talks to the team, you already know his intentions on is winning and good things. Like I said, it's kind of. I'm not even shocked that he got the head coaching job. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of things that I want to say that you can't put it out there, but it's just the fact that I just know he's going to do a great job. And like I said, I mean, look at the staff he's hiring. I just seen they got Coach Maurice as offensive coordinator. I've been on since he was at Ole Miss. And so, you know, when I was first coming out of high school, so I know they got something cooking there. But the whole thing is, man, just I don't even say it, just keeping that thing on the road. I know we're going to do that.
After the Celebration Bowl, bro, you gave probably a quote that's going to be used for years to come. You spoke passionately about players returning to HBCUs, playing for your own people, you know. Let's talk about that.
I mean, it's simple, man. You got all these guys that want to go to a Power 5 just to make a depth chart. You know what I'm saying? That's something I had to realize. A lot of guys saying that, what school did you go to before you came here? I mean, I was talking to these guys about it. And I was like, yeah, I went to Missouri. They was like, okay then. But no, it wasn't that. I didn't have the education to understand that I could have got the same thing at HBCU. First thing I'm looking at is, because you see on social media, everybody always talking about the nice facilities, the amount of money you get. I didn't get that. All I got was a normal check. Of course, if you're a 4-star, 5-star, you want to go somewhere nice, but you ain't bringing it back to your own home, and that's what I'm saying. If everybody was to invest how they do in PWIs, think about how HBCUs would look. Black community, if we're gonna talk about that,
Right.
think about how this is gonna look. You talking about overriding Alabama, you talking about overriding LSUs, overriding all these Power 5 PWI schools. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I took the risk. Yes, okay, of course it took Coach Prime for him to go to the school. But it opened my eyes, and I'm pretty sure it opened a lot of other guys' eyes who are in HBCUs that's been winning as well. I guarantee you we could have took on about 2 or 3 PWI teams and been able to do something with them. For real.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. For all these guys, I mean, and we talk about second chances as well. A lot of these guys right now, that's a lot of guys right now that are on depth charts right now that are not happy where they at.
Right.
But instead they want to let let me tell you how I want to say this. They want to let their head coach or let who was in charge of them scare them so they can't leave. But I mean, I actually had to go through something for me to be like, all right, I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to go to a HBCU. You see a lot of guys going to a HBCU right now and they're making the best of it. But imagine if everybody who's in this transfer portal right now trying to look for another PWI just go to a HBCU. The light on the HBCU right now.
It is.
So that's kind of where my mindset was going to. And I said a quote that PWIs make you fat, HBCUs make you hungry. And I meant that. A lot of guys go to a PWI and they already getting paid. Oh, nice money. They getting a nice house, nice furniture. Cool. They feel like they already made it.
Right.
You go to a HBCU, you ain't getting all that. But I guarantee you what you put in, you're going to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. Like I said, a lot of guys talk about the competition at HBCUs, but if you invest in a HBCU, you're not looking at that.
Right.
It's so much, like I said, it's so much talent, man. We just don't have the spotlight as far as PWIs just because you don't want to get back to it. But if everybody was to come back to a HBCU, the whole game changing.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the historical data, you know what I mean, you think about Jackson State being a university, HBCU, 19 other players that went to the Senior Bowl prior to Aubrey Miller being the 20th, if my count is right. You know, not going to list everybody because I have to pull my phone out and read them off, but you spoke highly of, you know, the HBCU experience, and you also mentioned you got 2 players that I thought stood out today, yourself and Isaiah Land. You know, it didn't look like there was any drop off anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the level of talent that we see at HBCUs all the time. Let's fast forward real quick, and I won't take up too much more of your time. Like, what's next for you? You know, how about, did you get an NFL combine invite?
No, I didn't get a combine invite. But like I said, if God bless him with it, all I can do is walk by faith and not by sight. So I'm not gonna question him. Okay. I'm just gonna have to keep working, keep my head down. So what's next is I'm about to fly back out to Florida. I'm about to do the same thing I was doing before I came to the Senior Bowl. I'm finna work my ass off. I'm gonna keep working my ass off, fix the small things I gotta do, so I make sure I have a great pro day, if not. And like I said, man, either way I'm gonna make it. And I always say one thing: this shit don't stop, and I stand by that.
Hey, I love it, man. What's the plans for the draft, man?
Plans for the draft? I mean, like I said, I'm walking by faith and not by sight, man.
Are you planning on being in Kansas City, or are you gonna do something at the house? Like, have y'all talked about that yet?
Talking about
like the draft day event, you know. I think the draft is April 28th.
Oh, like a draft party or something?
Yeah.
I ain't been thinking that far. I ain't there yet.
Hey, don't let me get you off focus, man. Because I asked you that in all honesty, because I mean the expectations for you to get drafted. Like we expect. I mean when you look at, and that leads to my next question though. Mm-hmm. And James Houston, you know, your former teammate that, did his thing this year. Mm-hmm. We had a chance to sit down with James and talk to him out at the NFLPA Bowl, and we beyond proud of him. Do you feel like his success has helped
open the doors? He knocking doors down.
Yeah.
Well, I can say he unlocking the doors. All I gotta do is kick that bitch down. Oh, sorry, I can't say that. He unlocking the door. All I gotta do is kick them things down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely, man. I talk to him consistently, and he's been helping me out through this process as well. Telling me to just make sure I do what I can do and just ball here, and everything that I want is gonna come with it. So, yeah, he's been a tremendous help. when I talk to teams, they ask about him. So I know that's a good thing as well.
Yeah.
And for of course, he's a guy that they consider undersized that's making a lot of noise in the NFL.
Yeah.
So as me being undersized, I know that it's making it very easy for me to come here and compete, and for people to realize, okay, this is who he really is.
Good stuff, man. I always be hesitant when I ask this question, but I have to. You got a team that you want to play for? I know the real answer is like, I don't care who, as long as somebody give me an opportunity. But now that you're almost this close to your dream to play in the NFL,
I want to go somewhere that's dark. Like, when I say dark, you know, when you see them, like, you just know they got goons.
like the Raiders. I'm a Raiders fan.
I mean, Raiders one of them teams. You know, Raiders one of them teams. Steelers.
Yeah.
You know, the Ravens.
Oh man.
You know, I mean, like just a few of them. You know, 49ers, like, of course, I was born a Dallas fan, but I'm just saying, team that you think dark, like, that you know they got some crazy people on their team. You know, I ain't really just saying crazy, but you know, people who ready to put their body on the line to get their win.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, man, it's a lot of other teams, man. Those just teams that I just grew up watching as a kid, though. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you had a lot of guys from each one of those teams. As far as the Ravens, I mean, Ray Lewis been my favorite player since I was born. You know, and I was forced to watch him growing up every day with my pops. That's all I was watching was his big hits. I mean, you had to fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And then for the 49ers, I said 49ers, then for Tampa as well, you had Derrick Brooks, you know, as far as the will, and I played both of those. So, man, look, anywhere where defense is mandatory, that's where I want to go. I want to go somewhere that's known for defense and that drives off defense. I mean, of course, you need the offensive score, but I mean, man, I don't know.
You got a player that you zero in on when you prepare? You know, do you think you comp out at the most, like player comp?
Oh, I said I'm an old school guy, man. Ray Lewis and Derrick Brooks. Mike, Ray Lewis, because of how he penetrates on the run, how he's so aggressive, and his enthusiasm as he plays, how he gets out his body, if you ask me. You know, how he finishes on tackle, things of that nature. How, you know, even his blitzes. How, I don't know, man. Something about how he playing. Like I said, Derrick Brooks, man, as far as covering. Of course, his pursuit, how quick he was. I mean, it's a lot of things that the old school guys showed me. You know, I don't really compare myself to a new school. I mean, if I had to, I'd say like Bobby Wagner.
Okay.
He's a fast guy. But other than that, you know, I'm just trying to be me.
There it is. So, last couple questions, man. While you were here, did you sit down with a lot of teams and they interviewed you?
All 32.
All 32.
Mm-hmm.
What was the wildest question you got asked in those interviews, you think? That made you scratch your head and say, man.
Wildest question. They didn't really ask no wild question. Surprised me.
Okay.
Probably was like, was I married? That ain't really a wild question though. It's easy. I mean, it was pretty easy answers.
Yeah, I know. The reason why I ask that because sometimes we always hear about some of the crazy questions that's asked. No offense to anybody in the NFL, but I ain't never been in that room, but you just kind of hear it. But anyway, man, as we get ready to close this out, like I said, we appreciate you. You know, not so much as a question, but just kind of just a thank you for representing Jackson State the way that you have. You know, it's been a pleasure to watch you for the last 2.5 seasons. I don't really count the spring, but
no, I don't count that shit either.
But it was a pleasure, man. And like I said, we hope that, you know, we can have that same experience with Ahmad. We love Aubrey Miller Sr. You know, Pops is locked and loaded, man. But it's been a pleasure watching you, bro. Seriously.
Thank
you. We really hope, you know, that you. I was telling them, you know, telling the family that I don't see you slipping past the third round, bro. I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right too, man. I mean, as people been saying I've been performing, like I said, man, I'm a humble guy, and I don't want to expect anything high, because when I don't get it, that's when I start thinking a lot. But it's not that though. Like I said, I'm just gonna keep working. I mean, I can't do nothing but keep working, and just keep proving why I belong. So
that's what's up.
But yeah, my experience at Jackson though is second to none. If we're gonna be honest, I wouldn't wish any other experience than what I've already had. Like this experience, like I said, it's probably been the best thing I've ever been able to do. Like I said, I learned how to, man, from when I say taking care of my own body, a lot of people don't understand what they really mean. You know what I'm saying? As far as eating the right things, like making sure you do your own stem, own treatments. No, and I'm not saying that's because of lack or anything. It was none of that. Cause Prime didn't like people being in the training room. So of course you had to do your treatment on your own. Like I said, and taking care of my body, my own workouts and stuff like that. I mean, it created a beast, whether you know it or not, for me to be able to do things on my own. Like I said, financial wise, you know, learning the possibilities and the things you could be able to do, but just knowing the things that you can reach that you didn't think you could. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I made a lot of relationships as well. Yeah. Same skin tone. Yeah. Made a lot of relationships. No doubt. And then too, man, I mean, I was in the spotlight, but not only that, I wasn't at the PWI to get it. I was at HBCU. So I took a lot from that.
There it is, man. Well, bro, we appreciate you for sitting down with us.
No, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you for, locking in with us, giving us all that good, inside your thought process, man, and kind of how it goes. And it's like I said, it's been a pleasure, bro. It's been a pleasure. And we appreciate you, bro. As always, family, y'all know who it is, man. It's Aubrey Miller Jr. We expect him to go get drafted to be the next star coming out of Jackson State. And as always, I'm Ken Clark, KC 1400 Media, Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. D.I. Love, go Tigers.
This shit don't stop. Stay in the game.